Hey YouTube, what's going on? Jujubear here. Welcome back to the channel. Now today we're going to be playing Total War Rome 2 as usual. We've got myself as the Nervii playing against the Swaby. This was a pretty nice matchup actually. I really enjoy playing these two factions together. And we'll see what happens. Now I'm just going to be straight up running at my opponent here. He has brought the Swaby, so I definitely want to be wary of that inevitable charge or Oriovistus charge general's ability. So if I can blunt the charge of my enemy, then I should be able to overcome him. What I've brought is Mighty Horse and Noble Horse in the center. Hopefully get some nice charges in. Celtic Warriors up the front. I think I've got 5 of them. I've got 4 Naked Warriors up the front as well. 4 Levy Freemen, 2 on each flank, and 2 Oathsworn up the back. So a very strong army if I do say so myself. Pretty happy with the way this would work out. My opponent's got Spear Brothers up the front, 3 of them. Round Shield Swordswomen, or Swordsmen. 5 of them, 1 Swordmaster, 1 Berserker. 5 Germanic Slingers, wow. Germanic Scout Riders, 2 of them. And 3 Noble Riders up the back. So that's a considerable investment in these heavy melee cav up the back. If he can make these guys presence felt for the battle, then he should be doing pretty well for the rest of the battle. So straight off the bat, he is going to separate his Spear Warriors and send them out into the flanks, which is great for me because what I'm trying to do is use my my cavalry to smash into his units up the front and follow up with my Celtic Warriors. This is a tactic that I use in pretty much all my battles. I'm a one-trick pony. That's what I'm trying to say. I pretty much have that one tactic, and it works well for me. Like it does work considerably well. I've found that if I want to win a game, if I'm desperate to win a game, I'll usually play that. But if I don't really care, then it doesn't really matter too much. So here comes a charge, the 1-2 punch. Gonna get a nice attack in here on these Round Shield Swordsmen. Raised Banner and Rally has been popped. But he does not get a counter charge. So my cavalry and my Celtic Warriors are going to have an absolute field day in the center. Over here I've managed to get a nice volley off on these Scout Riders, killing 18 of them. I'm going to pull out my cavalry. I have managed to destroy these Round Shield Swordsmen for the most part. They are starting to crumble a fair bit. He's sent in his second line, which is exactly what I kind of planned for. And I'm going to start peeling my cav around the flanks. At this point, I'm going to reinforce with my Naked Warriors, get them into combat nice and quick, maybe plug some gaps. But at this point, I can see there's a bit of a gap here where he's going to break through, so I'm going to have to get an Oathsworn in here and start filling that up quick smart. Because there is a friggin' Swordmaster and a Round Shield Swordsman that I'm going to have to deal with at some point. I am countering his Germanic Scout Riders with a Levy Freeman, 220 Talon thing versus 440 Talon unit. Seems like a good trade, so I'm just going to keep them busy. These Levy Freemen are going to come in here on the flanks and attack his Noble Riders. My Mighty Horse, who had a charge in the center, and my Noble Riders are going to be able to combat them fairly well. He does get a pretty desperate rear charge into my Naked Warriors. Probably not going to help him out too much. He is managing to break through a couple of my units here, but my Naked Warriors are arriving just in time to hack down these Spear Brothers and Round Shield Swordsmen, that kind of thing. I do have 1 Oathsworn left in reserve, and it looks like I'm probably going to have to use it in the center here against these Berserkers. There's 45 men left, but if left unchecked, they probably could wrap me up in the center. So I'm going to use my Oathsworn to kind of answer them and hopefully put them down. A couple of my Celtic Warriors are going to be coming back with 67, 80, 70 men left, which is pretty nice. We are managing to finish off a couple of these Noble Riders out in this flank, which is great, but I am crumbling over on this flank where my Naked Warriors are starting to fail. He does have most of his slingers left intact, but that's probably not going to be so for much longer because I do have some Noble Horse that I'm going to be wrapping around the flanks as well. I am starting to finish up this flank as well, so I'm going to start peeling around a couple of my units here. And my opponent just doesn't have enough men to defend his units with. So he's got 1 Noble Rider here, which is quite dangerous to me. But I am breaking through with my infantry, and I'm breaking through with my cavalry. I do get a nice volley there with my Levy Freeman. Gonna follow it up with a Mighty Horse. Fuck. I totally didn't remember this game going so well for me. It's beautiful. It's so good. Noble Rider here, struggling against a Mighty Horse. I'm going to reinforce with my Levy Freeman before they can heal off. But he's just got a couple of slingers left in the battlefield that are kind of threatening. And over here, I'm going to have to charge my Noble Horse into these Germanic Scout Riders. I don't actually get a counter charge, which is not great. But either way, I'm going to be able to deal with those units fairly well. Managed to catch his Germanic Scout Riders over here with my Levy Freeman. I'm going to reinforce with Levy Freeman over here. He does have a couple of slingers that are going to be firing into me, but I have so much infantry left that it doesn't really matter. And it's a close victory in the end. Holy shit, that's such a good battle. I totally forgot how well how well the plan worked there. That was great to watch. So Achilles, pretty good build. I was pretty wary of the build that he brought to the table here. The Round Shield Swordsman, I don't know if I would ever bring them as line infantry, maybe like Bloodsworn backed up by something else, I'm not really sure, but the Berserkers were pretty effective, Spear Brothers were pretty good at holding up different units, Noble Riders did okay, but the Swordmasters, man, they were pretty punishing. 135 kills down the center there, just steamrolling through a couple of my Celtic Warriors and Naked Warriors, doing a really great job there. Mighty Horse and Noble Horse getting really good charges at the start of the battle and also helping out the flanks, doing a great job. The Celtic Warriors holding up fairly well, being heavy, I think it's very heavy melee infantry. But the Levy Freeman just taking those Scout Riders out of the game and defending against these Noble Riders. Definitely essential that I bring 4 of them out in the flanks. But the second line of Naked Warriors were definitely fairly good at countering his spears and also at finishing off the Round Shield Swordsmen and Berserkers and that kind of thing. So, oh man, that was sick. That was good to watch. It's not often that I suck my own dick, but man, I play well in that game. I think it's just a build. Sometimes the build can work very well. Sometimes it can just fail hardcore. And I guess this build is very good against sword rush kind of armies like Swaby, like Arverni, like pretty much any of the barbarian sword rush infantry enemies. But yeah, thanks for the game, dude. Thanks for watching, and this is Jujubes signing out. Peace.